Welcome, hockey fans, to another edition of the Wolves Hockey Show, where we bring you weekly clips, highlights, interviews, and much more on the Wolves program. My name is Andrew Trimble. I'm here with my co-host,
Tim Kuhns.
And we're going to bring you some information on how the Wolves did this past weekend.
Yeah, Coach, I know our U14 team was in action. How'd they do?
Yeah, the Wolves U14 team competed in the NEPHL playoffs this weekend. They had a great regular season where they finished 8-2-2. And a lot of standout performances, and they qualified for the playoffs in the last week of the regular season. But they had a tough draw that first round. And they played the top team in the league. And although they competed really hard in a back-and-forth game, they lost 5-3 to be officially eliminated from the playoffs. But they got a lot of positive things looking forward. Coach Guerin has his guys loading up here for the second half of the season. They have an NEPHL winter season coming up, and a couple tournaments and things like that. So I'm really excited about what's in store for them.
Yeah, looking forward to see how that second half goes.
Definitely. Some standout guys on that team have been Shaw Swinnerton. He's been really terrific this last couple weeks. And also in nets, both Brody Rollins and Paolo Vasquez have been really good. Now, Coach, tell me about the U16 Wolves. How did they do?
Yeah, so they also had the NEPHL playoffs. They had a really strong season, 10-0-1. In that regular season part of the NEPHL. They won 2 games in the playoffs to reach the finals. I know Andrew Spikuza had a big goal in overtime in the semifinals. And then in the finals, they made it to overtime, but ended up losing 2-1 in overtime.
Yeah, it was a really good year for them. And this is a first year kind of an expansion team. We've never had a full season U16 team in all of the Lakes region. And these kids have come from different high schools and even different parts of the country and come together. What do you think has been kind of the key for their success?
Yeah, I think it's just been, it just speaks to kind of the individual performances of the different guys on the team. Like you said, it was a brand new team, but yeah, it's definitely been a success so far.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and now I know both the junior teams were in action last weekend, so how'd the premier team make out?
After a great weekend last weekend, we're 3-0. I think the guys were looking a little bit too far ahead. We have Thanksgiving break coming up. We got parents coming to town to pick up their guys, and I think we were kind of put the cart ahead of the horse a little bit this weekend. We lost both games. We lost to the Walpole Express 4-2, and we lost to the Boston Junior Rangers 7-2 over the weekend. We got some clips though. We're going to show those right now. So here is our Saturday game against the Walpole Express. The Wolves are trailing here in the game. They have an deep offensive zone possession. Holt Schwarm gets the puck to the net, and leading scorer Ricard Jelenskis finishes the play. This made the score 3-2, but the Wolves would ultimately lose 4-2 to the Walpole Express. Here's some action from Sunday's game. Wolves are playing one of the top teams in the league, the Boston Junior Rangers. They're trailing in the game here, but they keep competing. And early in the first period, Noah Worth finishes a play started by Ricard Jelenskis. This made the score 2-1 in the first period. Ultimately, though, the Wolves would fall in this game 7-2.
Nice goal from last week's guest, Noah Worth there.
Yeah, Noah's been playing really great for us, and I think he's one of the most consistent players. He's been competing every day in practice and games, and he's made a big difference. So really looking forward to the second half with Noah. Now, Coach, tell me about the EHL team. How did they do?
Yeah, so EHL team was in action last weekend also. We played the second place team in our conference, Seahawks Hockey Club down in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Won that game 4-1, and then we had our last game before Thanksgiving break at home against the Valley Junior Warriors. We ended up losing that game, but obviously to beat one of the top teams again in our conference was a positive.
Absolutely. I mean, and your team's probably on a 5-1 run now. So that's pretty solid, right? They're making some headway.
Yeah, definitely. You always want to win that last game headed into break, but the team's been doing well, and I know they're all looking forward to the second half of the season.
That's great. Let's see some clips.
Here we have a clip from the first game on Saturday down in Cape Cod. This was the first goal of the game. Great pass from Josh Grunn. Robbie Hake takes a shot, and Matt Amonte scored the goal. That was the first goal to get the Wolves on the board in Saturday's game. So that first goal would tie the game at 1 in the first period. Here we have the the second clip and starts in the defensive zone. Wolves get the turnover. Sam Willman starts the play, gets it to Gabriel Jadoin, made a great pass. Really good finish from Sam Willman. Wolves would take the lead 2-1, and that was the end of the first period. That goal ended up being the game-winning goal, and the Wolves would beat the Seahawks 4-1. So here we have one of the Wolves' goals from Sunday's game against the Valley Junior Warriors. As you can see, the Wolves had the empty net. Good shot from the point. Good work from Kevin Byte to get it to Josh Grund with the goal. Josh Grund ended up with 2 goals in the losing effort to the Valley Junior Warriors.
So the Wolves have got a combined junior team record in the month of November of 12-6. It's a nice little run for the program. What do you think has been some of the keys to success in this first half of the season, Coach?
Yeah, I think both teams have had a really good start to the season. During any season, there's some real ups and downs. But I think we've seen a lot of good signs from all the players and both teams, and I know the coaches and the players we're all looking forward to getting going here in the second half.
Definitely. I mean, we have the playoffs coming up, a lot of exciting things both on the ice and off the ice. But what players have really stood out for you in this first half of the season?
Yeah, just speaking about the EHL team, some players who stood out. We have Julius Kvandal is a defenseman, his first year in the league from Norway. He's done really well. Jack Loran is 20 years old from New York State, has done a great job scoring goals. And then DJ Schwenke, who's his third year in the program, is one of the leaders and the captain as well.
Awesome. Yeah, expecting some big things from those guys. You have another one of your captains, actually, though. He's an assistant captain on the team, Tommy Condon. It's his second year in the program. We're going to bring him on to share an interview with us.
And with me now, as Andrew just mentioned, is Tom Condon. He's a 99 birth year from New York. It's his second year on the Wolves. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Coach.
Great. So, well, first you could start by telling us how you got your start in hockey and where you're from and your early hockey career.
Yeah, I was born in Long Island, born into a family that, all we knew was hockey. So my dad, both my brothers, all my cousins and my uncles played hockey. So I kind of just got born into it and then fell in love with it when I was younger.
Great. Now your brother still plays hockey?
Yeah, my brother plays in SPHL down in Alabama.
Great. Now, what brought you up to Laconia and to play for the New England Wolves?
I finished my 18U season, and we were up at Nationals in Philadelphia, and talked to you, and I knew that I wanted to keep playing hockey and wanted it to get me into college, so I jumped right on board.
And also from that 18U team, you had Matt Amonte and Rocco DiCostanzo, who also played on the team last year and are with us again this year. How's it been playing with those guys? Yeah,
it's awesome. I've been playing with them for a while. Rocco, this is my 5th year, and Amonte my 4th. So just to have guys like that makes it a lot easier to fit in. So
great. And how's your experience been playing for the Wolves? And I know you stay with the Billett family. How's that been?
It's awesome. When I moved up here, I didn't really know what to expect, moving into a house with complete strangers, but they were really open about it, and they're like family to me now, so really appreciate them.
Yeah. And how's the hockey part of the program been for you?
I love the hockey part. Being able to skate every day, almost every day, more than once, and to get into the gym and all that stuff is, what you need to get to college, so I'm thankful for it.
Yeah. And so how's the current season been? I know the EHL team we're in currently, I think, in 5th place in an 11-team conference. How you describe this current season?
I think it's been a good season so far. I think our best hockey is still ahead of us. We're coming off a big couple games here, and I think the boys are excited for the second half of the season.
Yeah, definitely. I know the coach is excited too, so we're really looking forward to it. Now, you're a 99 birth year. So this would be your last year that you could play junior hockey, and for the Wolves, what are your goals going forward after this season?
It's definitely to to get me into college, get an education, and if hockey after college presents itself, I'd love to jump on board, but we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Tommy, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Coach.
So I love that interview with Tommy. He's been with us for 2 years now. He's one of our assistant captains. He's getting ready for college. And since the day he came in here, he's always been one of the most unique players we had. He kills penalties. He uses tons of different situations. Coach, what in your opinion kind of sets Tommy apart from some of the other guys in the league?
Yeah, I think, like you said, first to mention is he's been the assistant captain for 2 years, so that speaks to his leadership qualities and that the guys on the team really like him. He's a really good skater. He's been a top penalty killer in the league for 2 seasons now, and he's a skilled player as well, like you mentioned. So I think he's going to be really attractive to college programs for next season.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I know we have some youth teams in action this holiday weekend. What do we have coming up?
Yeah, we have a great holiday tournament planned for our U10, our U12, and our U16 teams. They're going down to Marlborough, Mass, and competing in the North American Fall Championships. It's a tournament that gets teams from all over North America. They get teams from Quebec. There's teams from all over New England. There's a couple teams from down south, and 3 of our teams in our program are going to be competing against those teams. Our U10s and 12s haven't played in a tournament since the fall. So we had a practice on Wednesday, and we're going to kind of tighten up the screws on those guys so they can get ready for that tournament. And then our 16s are playing in that, and they're just coming off their playoffs. So I expect them to do really, really well and be totally prepared. And if they can just burn off some of those calories from Thanksgiving, they'll probably have a great run. Now tell me about what's going on with the junior teams this weekend.
Yeah, so both junior teams are now on break, so they'll be heading to their homes for Thanksgiving dinner, or I know some guys are sticking around in town, the guys from out of the country, so they get to experience American Thanksgiving with some of the players. There are no games this weekend, but in 2 weeks they'll be back on the ice looking to get some points in the second half of the season.
And we have some great things coming up for those junior teams in terms of community service and stuff planned for December. On December 15th, we have some intermission entertainment provided by a local figure skating group. We have a Santa visit in early December. That's always a fun game where we got a lot of people in the building, and Santa's supporting the Wolves out there. And in years past, we've done stuff with the children's auction that we're going to do again this year, and other stuff like that. So it's an exciting month for us.
I know the teams always play well when Santa's in the building, so we'll be looking
Yeah,
forward to that.
I think we got a pretty good record when Santa's there.
I didn't want to jinx it, but
Well, great. Well, we actually got a clip from this last weekend's games. This is provided by our team videographer, Tom Missert, and we'll play that for you right now. So it's been a great first half of the season. As owners of the Wolves, we want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, safe travels home to see your friends and family, and let's go get them in the second half here, Coach, right?
yeah, absolutely. Have a happy Thanksgiving. To catch up on all the Wolves teams, you can go to our website at any-wolveshockey.com.